They are endorsing the same government that abducted and detained Nnamdi Kanu, ex-PFN chairman. Former chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria (PFN), Apostle Eugene Ogo, has condemned the endorsement of President Bola Tinubu for a second term in 2027 by some Southeast political leaders, describing it as a betrayal of the Igbo cause and a cause if Kanu remains in detention. Speaking in Port Harcourt, Apostle Ogo reacted sharply to the recent APC stakeholder meeting in Enugu, where Tinubu was reportedly endorsed by some Southeast leaders for re-election. Ogo, a vocal critic of political injustice, questioned the logic of endorsing the president, while Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB), remains in custody under the same administration. He stated, while northern political leaders negotiate and secure the release of people accused of buying, maiming and kidnapping Nigerians, these eastern politicians could not even secure the release of their own son and kinsman Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am calling on all Igbo association professionals, men, women, traders, students, youths and transporters at home and abroad to vehemently disassociate themselves from that embarrassing endorsement of Tinubu for a second term by sellout politicians in the southeast. Ogo's comment comes in the wake of the Katsina state government release of 70 convicted bandits as part of a peace-building initiative. The cleric said the move laid-bare the contrasting approaches to justice between northern and eastern leaders. It is painful to see those who destroy lives and properties walk free under a so-called peace initiative, while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who represents the legitimate concerns of the Igbo people, remains in detention, he added. The former PFN leader warned that the continued support for the APC-led government, while Kanu remains detained, would attract divine judgment and further isolate political leaders from the people they claim to represent. He further stated the endorsement of President Tinubu by some Igbo APC leaders shows a clear disconnect from the realities on ground in the southeast. We must not allow these politicians to continue misleading our people for selfish interests. Let them prove their sincerity by securing the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Are they going to do that? Until then, they speak only for themselves and not for Igbo. Ogo urged Igbos worldwide to remain united, vigilant and politically conscious, stressing that loyalty to any government or party must be rooted in justice, equity and protection of Igbo interests. Emeka Izuogo says, useless, clueless, demented hooligan masquerading as leaders. Eginla Musa says, the painful thing about Igbo is they not culture all at all. They are youth treating like animated parody. Tomorrow ADC will have votes than ABGA, the East right from First Republic. What are you writing? No command, no full stop. I don't even understand. Magnus Alim says, it's not surprising now. After all, they are the people that organized and arrested and continue to detain him. They have never made any true effort to release him. I'm telling you. They've not made true efforts. Mike Olutu says, this is the same government that abducted and detained Kanu. Is Buhari government the same with Tinubu government? Different tenures, different personalities. Stephen Bolo says it is the Igbo politicians that are still keeping Nnamdi Kanu in detention. Yes, they are the ones. Tiny Bot had wished for his release, but Igbo politicians refused. Make this happen to a northerner. That's where you know that the northern politicians are not cowardice, as some Igbo hungry politician. Joseph Mugbana says, truly, these persons are saboteurs, betrayers of Indigo, and their emancipation struggle. Their opinion is from the depth of self-serving. They don't have peace. They don't have authority to make such statements in the first place. Chef Kalu says, shut up. Shegun Balogu says, you people think you continue to murder and go free. Your own murder days are now. So who murdered? Did Nnamdi Kanu murder anybody? Because we are talking rubbish. Chief Onyema says, in the womb of time, the youth of this nation will rule their destiny without fear of guns blazing from both the soldiers and terrorists. I can see that day coming, and it will be more difficult than Somali. Willie Okewale says, continue playing politics like Mumu people because of Nnamdi Kanu. Innocent Arize says, I support your move, my beloved brother and man of God. It is a huge shame on Igbos. Most Igbo politicians have no shame at all, and I'm of the opinion that Igbos should disassociate themselves from the wicked and baseless endorsements. Shedrack Ebo says, that is the truth. Ahmed Fatai says, Apostle of ignorance, you would need to tell or convince those governors that Kanu and his movements never spied and victimized his people who didn't support his IPOB, or maybe you did not hear from some Igbo seeking for justice on their families being spied, or you weren't in Nigeria then, or better still, you chose to ignore that because of tribal interests. Chika Harry says, which government? Now the same people will kidnap their brother, no be government, all for their personal gain, not for their region. Alechani says, so all these Igbo people think their count in Nigeria government or their vote is useful, and why is their vote not useful? My brothers and sisters, Igbo people's vote stopped value in Nigeria since 2015. So they should not intimidate anybody in Nigeria with your useless vote that has no value. Are you joking? Their vote has no value, really? It is well though. That Alfred says action, not sanctions. Makobina says, Apostle, God bless you for saying the truth. Says, Mother Boom says, those Southeastern leaders are idiots, most of them. Mba Eti says, their endorsement is selfish reasons and not for the interest of the zone, obviously. The number of these people who did so endorsed equal to the number of votes for ABC in the zone. None of them has up to 10 people they can command or convince to go by their choice because they are politically irrelevant. Anthony Obalum says, my dear brother, don't worry yourself. Their handwriting is on the wall. Odokapi says, I have my PVC. It will speak loud at the right time. Kelvin Ikemefuna says, those that endorsed Tinubu are on their own. The protest through the ballots will sweep most of them away. Come 2027, trust Igbo people, we are not for follow policies. Let them keep deceiving Tinubu with nonsense endorsement. Michael Amusan says, you lack knowledge. Tinubu decided the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Is that the question? Tony Raymond says, tribalism will buy you soon. Granty Roham says, opposed to these guys are after their belly, not the cause of the people. They remain enemies of progress. Period. Charles Ushe says, selfish politicians, God go shame them. Amen. No, God go really shame them. My listeners, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.